Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're someone who lives in Notion, but you write your code in Python, you are going to love this. Today, we're going to completely supercharge your workspace and show you how to literally get Notion to do whatever you want automatically. You know the drill, right? We've all been there. Endlessly copying and pasting data, updating project statuses, uploading files one by one by one. It's just so tedious. But, what if you could just script all of that? What if your applications could talk directly to your Notion databases? Well, it turns out you totally can, and that's where NotionHelper comes in. It's a Python library that was built specifically to make working with the Notion API super, super easy. Think of it as the perfect bridge between your code and your productivity hub. Okay, so here's the game plan for today. We're going to kick things off with the why behind all this. Then we'll get you set up and running in literally under a minute. And after that, we dive into the really fun stuff. Creating pages from code, pulling your data straight into Pandas, and handling file uploads like an absolute pro. So first things first, why even bother with this? What's the point of automating Notion? Well, it all boils down to saving a ton of time, cutting down on those silly manual errors, and building these really powerful integrated workflows that you just can't do by hand. You can really tell NotionHelper was built by developers for developers. Everything's straightforward, synchronous operations, so no async headaches. It's got this amazing integration with Pandas for any data analysis you want to do, and it makes complex things like file uploads incredibly simple. Plus, the whole thing is type-hinted, which is great for catching bugs, and it's already compliant with the latest Notion API, so it's ready for the future. Okay, enough talk. Let's get you up and running. And I promise, this part is lightning fast. You'll be ready to code in like a minute. Seriously, step 1 could not be any easier. You just pop open your terminal and type pip install NotionHelper. That's it. That one little command grabs the library, it grabs pandas, it grabs requests, everything you need. Done. Next up is authentication, and it's just these 3 simple steps you see here. First, you're going to hop into your Notion settings and create what they call a new integration. That's going to give you this secret internal integration token. You'll want to copy that. And this is super important, don't forget this part, you have to explicitly share the Notion page or the database you want to mess with that new integration you just made. All right, now let's jump back into the code. All you do is import the library, you'll grab that secret token you copied, and please, for security, use an environment variable for this, don't hard-code it, and you just pass it into the NotionHelper class. And boom, that's it. You are officially connected and ready to start automating. Okay, setup is done. Now for the fun part. Let's actually do something. Let's create a brand new page in a Notion database, all from our Python script. Just look at how clean this code is. You literally just create a Python dictionary to define all the properties for your new page, the task name, the status, maybe a due date. Then you call one method, new page to data source. You give it the ID of your database table, pass in your properties dictionary, and poof, a new page just magically appears in Notion. Okay, so there's one little detail here that's really important to get. This data source ID. With the newest version of the Notion API, you can think of a database as just the folder, the container. The actual table with all your rows and columns, that's called the data source, and that's what you need to target. The great thing is, NotionHelper just lets you focus on that. It handles all the background logic for you. But, creating an empty page is just the beginning. You can then start building out the body of the page. You can add headings, paragraphs, bullet points, whatever you want. You just create a list of these block objects and use the append page body method to build rich, detailed pages completely from code. Okay, let's talk about one of my absolute favorite features, especially if you're into data analysis at all. So picture this. You've got a Notion database packed with user feedback, or maybe all your project tasks. How do you get that data out of Notion and into Python so you can actually analyze it? Well, it's this simple. It is one single function call. Get_data source pages as data frame. And this one line does all the heavy lifting for you. It handles all the annoying stuff like pagination, it parses all the different property types, it cleans up the data, and what you get back is a beautiful, clean Pandas data frame. It's awesome. And this is what it looks like. Just like that, your Notion data is now perfectly structured in a data frame. Just think about the possibilities, right? You could have a script that automatically pulls your weekly sales data from a Notion table every Monday, runs a forecast model on it, and then embeds the chart of that forecast right back into your weekly report page in Notion, all with a single script. That is the kind of power we're talking about. All right, next up is a feature that honestly solves one of the biggest headaches with the Notion API, uploading files. Normally, this is a whole song and dance. You have to upload the file, get a URL back, then attach that URL to the page. It's a pain. NotionHelper just turns it into a one-step superpower. I mean, just look at the difference here. The hard way, the standard way, involves at least two separate API calls, and you have to manage the state between them. But the NotionHelper way, it's one single super intuitive function. It just does it all for you. So let's say you want to automatically drop a chart or maybe a screenshot into a report page you're building. You just use one-step image embed, point it to your page and the image file on your computer, and bam, it's embedded right there in the page body. And it works the same way for any other kind of file. Maybe your script just generated a PDF report or a CSV file. You can attach it directly to a Notion page using its own simple one-step function. No fuss. And here's where it gets really, really cool. You can even target a specific files and media property on your page. This is so powerful for structured data. Think about it. You could write a script that scrapes your email for receipts, and for each one, it finds the matching expense line in your Notion budget tracker and attaches the PDF of the receipt right to that line item automatically. You know, we've really only just scratched the surface here, but I think you can already see just how powerful this can be. So let's do a quick wrap-up and go over the key things you need to remember as you start your own automation journey. So let's boil it all down. What are the big takeaways? First, getting set up is ridiculously fast. It's just a pip install and an API token. From that point on, you have the power to create pages and content from your code. Pull all your Notion data straight into Pandas for some serious analysis, and handle all those tricky file uploads with dead simple single-line commands. You've basically got a direct pipeline from your code to your Notion workspace. And really, that brings us to the most important question of all. I want you to think about your own daily workflow in Notion. What's that one thing you do over and over again? That boring, repetitive task that you just wish would disappear? Because with NotionHelper, you now have the tools to make it disappear forever. So the only question left is, what are you going to build first?